or backup plan. In case the show drive doesn't work, I can still do a few things with my life. Okay, so this is the Smallocracy rendering that I just did. I kind of, got a little bit frustrated trying to figure out proper lighting and stuff. I still haven't figured out the shadows of this thing, of how to do this, but it's an animation. Actually, I'll do a cursor over here or something. Okay, so yeah, so this is the code. Of course, I could do a screenshot, but I'm actually going to show you like the rest of the house and stuff later. There's some really interesting things this new year. I'm trying to figure out some stuff, but that's okay. And all right, so I've had a little bit of fun here with this animated. Woo! So this is kind of an idea of what it looks like. I still have to optimize geometries of the buildings. I'm just going to be like, I'm going to be rendering some sky bridges. Actually, there could be suspension bridges that are anchored to the ground, and there's going to be a lot of places down here, like yards, private yards. So the way it would work, basically, the idea is to reduce the cost of building cities while maximizing pretty much what people, whether they're in rural areas or urban areas, what they like from a city. And so then there's this physical separation between urban and rural oriented people. They're often geographically separated, and kind of like this would be kind of like a melting pot of the urban and rural and suburban people, because there would be all kinds of interesting things. Now, this is not to be confused with a lot of the public housing projects that kind of look like this, like have like these things called panel houses. Like in a lot of the communist countries, they have those things, and try to like deviate away from the look of it a little bit, but while still having some extra features. Now, without the communism. So basically what it is, you'd have private developers and local institutions that would come together, and they try to figure out how to save money and reduce debt and so on. And so one of the things you can do is not build roads, because there's a lot of subsidies that go into making suburbs possible. Now, I do like homes like this, and they're big, not like an urban area where they're like really cramped. Urban areas, though, they have a lot of activity, but there's also like lots of dark alleys and stuff. And personally, I don't like alleys, or even for that matter, apartment corridors inside buildings. So you'll notice here that there are no, well, actually not quite yet, but there are no inside corridors. They're all outdoors. So this is like an outdoors oriented high density complex, and people will have their own yards. Now, except like the thing is, like, not everybody needs a yard or wants a yard, so those that want a yard can get it. Now, not everybody who wants to live in the suburbs cares about their yard. So you see in a lot of suburbs, there's a lot of unkempt yards, because it's kind of like bundled up with their homes, whether they like that or not. But a lot of people just sometimes like having a yard even if they don't maintain it. Here, basically what you do is people can own yards in this place called Smallocracy, or in this case is like a Smallocracy Project 1.0. And so if they can build a unit in one of these towers for 12 months without any issues, then that opens the door for them to purchase a plot of land outright, and then they can build whatever cottage and stuff, and that would be their backup. So, because that would be cheaper, inherently cheaper, just like, building in the country tends to be cheaper than building in the city. So that's their backup, and, then once they pay that off, then they can start buying outright the loft units, because basically the plot of land serves as kind of a proof that you're going to be, interested in being there in a while. So, yeah, so let's say they get laid off or something, then they have the little house or cottage or whatever they chose to build on their yard, as a backup. And let's say they don't have that problem, their children go to college, but they want to stay close to home without being at home, then they can move to those yards down there. They would be away from home, and yet they would still, in a way, be connected to their family. So that will, I'm sure, appeal to a lot of people, because I'm sure cottages are not as expensive as lofts, and a lot of people can't afford nice lofts because of various issues like with pricing and land costs. And here we're actually not using that much land at all for the towers, and that is on purpose. Now, where are the roads? There's no roads. You would have suspension bridges connecting these towers, and of course I'll have to kind of orient these a little bit better to make that work, but I don't want it too symmetrical, because then it looks like, like in the communist country where they're all like uniform and like very cookie cutter. I mean, there needs to be a theme. Each of these are a district, but there needs to be a theme without having too much cacophony. It needs to be like a symphony of buildings, but so it can't just be like repetitive and just like beat, 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 beat. No one listens to a song that's just beat, beat, beat. So yeah, so this is gonna be really cool if I can get it to work and get it animated and have characters and stuff, rolling around here to kind of explain a bit better how this would work out. And as much as the president or president-elect has some issues, I always figured, well, regardless of somebody's personal issues, you could perhaps take some advantage of the fact that there are some positive attributes that you could probably exploit if you wanted to. He likes to obviously build a lot of buildings. He wants to rebuild America. So if that's an opportunity to propose Smallocracy right after I propose the show drive, then, I would figure as a pragmatic emphasis, that's probably a good idea. So now the thing with this is you'll have some semi-public transportation that connects multiple districts. So like there's actually going to be some extra towers in the middle. There's are commercial and light industrial. Light industrial could be just packaging candy or something, or warehousing, or Amazon type stuff like what they do. If you've ever seen their videos. And then there would be like small passenger pods that there's no way they could be like 90% empty and carry somebody, because they would have like 2 seats or up to 4 seats or something, like no more than a car. And they'd be on rails, so they would glide over easily without interrupting people's yards and stuff. And of course there should be privacy curtains or something, so people don't look in their yards while they're on the train. And they would connect different districts to each other, and it would be all over the land. And people people owning yards that they can see like the entirety of from their balconies, and there's gonna be some balconies, I'm sure. These platforms, I believe, will be where the stairs are going to be. The stairs would have chair lifts, and the chair lifts would help, alleviate the cost of elevators that are, can be expensive to maintain. Imagine maintaining all of these elevators. So the only normal elevators would be in the hub region, which would be over in the center. Once I, put that there. And hub regions would be connected, and there would be so much space saved. If you're going to have roads, they may as well be raceways or drag strips or something. Something entertaining, something fun. Maybe some Hot Wheels thing, like in the Hot Wheels YouTube channel, they have a lot of interesting tracks that apparently are not feasible yet, but would be really awesome if they can build it. Definitely a first world problem, if not a zeroth world problem or desire to have. But that would be really, really, really cool, and I'm not opposed to that at all, as long as we can take care of our other needs like energy. I have these dreams that there's a future that doesn't have all these same problems. We might have different kind of problems. We might still annoy each other, but we won't have the same problems. We'll have a lot more fun, I think, if we if we're smart, robots may take our jobs, but we'll have more fun creating different jobs than we had before. If not, well, then we'll just sit in couches because we don't have imagination, but obviously we do, so that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so what else can we say about this? Okay, so let's go back out. Yeah, I think I covered that. So basically, it's New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2016, and it's too bad I couldn't have finished the show drive like I had wanted to. Now, one of the things I had in mind, one of the ideas I had here is, get a wet erase marker. And this was kind of like one of those other ideas I had. And I would just, write on here, like a board, to kind of explain certain things about the show drive and, how it works and stuff. But maybe computer animations would be better. Anyway, I just noticed that, this rod, shower rod, could be a good place to show the show drive, demonstrating its power in the shower, if that makes any sense. And if it catches on fire, we could just probably scoop up some water and pour it on there, but that's electrical, so that's kind of stupid, but if anything else is on fire, get an idea. I'm still not sure if it gets hot or too hot, or if it, can get cold or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what exactly is it, because I've heard of things where people would get their wires frosted, like they'll do things with electricity that makes their wires so cold that it not only condensates the humidity, it freezes it. Maybe that's more like just something you would expect, say, when you depressurized canned air or whatever is in that can that's used to clean computers, and it gets cold because of the rapid expansion. Maybe that's what's going on with those. I'm not sure yet. But maybe there is some transduction of energy or something. I'm not quite sure yet. But over the past day or so, I'm kind of leading in the direction that it will just get hot based upon the current you have flowing through it. And of course, you might say, obviously. But we'll see. And if so, then I have some issues to deal with, because if I'm going to have the acrylic rods transparency allow you to see the show drive, I don't want it to get so hot that it catches on fire. That would be kind of stupid. And then I have to get the fire extinguisher and just, right? But I'll take care of that. And if it gets cold, that it would be so freaking awesome. It'd be like the Kelvinator. Okay, so all the stuff that I just had land in my lap today, thank goodness I decided to take out the trash, and thank goodness the trash people actually don't take out the trash for some reason for the past few weeks. It hasn't even been emptied in who knows how long. But yeah, this is very, 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 very good, because we've got a neighbor that's just is about to move out. He's going to be on like a civilian duty or something. So this is I'm going to have to clean all this stuff, but I've got pretty much a whole bunch of pots and stuff. This is going to be really cool. Got a new cabinet, a coffee table. I was missing a coffee table. I was missing a couch. I was missing a microwave. I was wanting to get a light stand. Well, I had plenty of pots as it is, but who knows if I need them. I was wanting a waffle iron, and there it is, waffle iron. That's awesome. And blender. Never had a blender. This drying rack. I don't like using drying racks, so I'm going to use that to sort papers. And that rice cooker I've already had. So yeah, this is a bathroom stand. It's really good to have that. The one that I had in the previous apartment kind of went kaput, and so it's kind of like being used for this extra storage here. So yeah, awesome, and you can see the address, I bet. So anyway, not living there. So anyway, what else is new? Oh yeah, the year, of course. Let's see what we're doing here. Menu. Oh no, inputs. Input. I need more inputs. Come on.
Oh, I love it. It looks so wonderfully even, and it covered up this. They kill 99.9% of germs, including E. coli, to clean and disinfect in and out of the toilet. Lysol that. Snacking has never been this exciting. At Graze.com,
when the Brexit referendum sent index down 610 points in a single day. Market players say hopes for the incoming Trump administration are likely to remain high for some time. They say some investors have been alarmed by the rapid stock gains since Trump has released no concrete policies. Many are waiting to see January's earnings reports by major companies. A social media craze in which people pose as clothing dummies has reached outer space. Crew members on the International Space Station have joined the mannequin challenge in zero gravity. A French astronaut aboard the ISS posted a video to Twitter on Friday saying, "We got the whole crew together and took the mannequin challenge to new heights." In the video, the crew keep their bodies rigid.
Okay, so you get the idea there. Alright, so that should be it for now. Yeah, I was actually thinking about building the show drive today, but I've been trying to be kind of laid back over the holidays because my company that I work for has taken a break for 2 weeks, and so we're getting to the end of that. So yeah. Anyway. So, that is all for today. I would like to thank you for your time and have a wonderful rest of your year, and Happy New Year 2017. I still work for this camera, right?